So we just checked out a historical district. Now we're in a newer district in Shanghai. We're at this area which used to be under French occupation after World War I. And it kind of became this like cafe hotspot, lots of clothing brands, art exhibits and whatnot. So we're gonna take a look at an interesting art exhibit. It's been all across social media. We'll see if we like it.
This is a giant art installation. Look at, they even got Joe Biden up there. Old Sleepy Joe.
I don't know how to describe it. It's so realistic. It's like very interesting. All right, we're on the streets of Shanghai now, just walking around. To be honest, I have no idea where we are, but pretty nice here. Lots of nice little cafes and shops and restaurants and stuff. It's actually way colder here than I expected and Nelly expected. She needs a new coat. Except yesterday, we went to this mall and I'm not even kidding, every single coat was like $4,000 or $5,000. It was the most ludicrous thing I've ever seen in my life. Every store was like Loro Piana, Miu Miu, Burberry. There was not a single store in there that was like affordable. You know, the people of China, they are, according to CNN, they're starving and they're, you know, it's a corrupt, dystopian, authoritarian state. But somehow the people here afford $4,000 jackets and coats. I don't know how that adds up. I don't see any starving people. It's the same stuff they say about Venezuela, about North Korea, about Russia. But when you come here, turns out the cities are actually much nicer than American cities, and it's clean. Look at the streets. The streets are so clean. There's no homeless people. There's no people trying to stab you. Everywhere's very nice.
Craziest thing here is that literally each street, each corner looks like a fairy tale or a cartoon. I'm not even kidding. And I mean, even in Russia, I've never seen that. Never, because it's just maybe my first impression here because I've never been in China, but it's so beautiful. All people look so fancy, so beautiful, so sweet. That's crazy. I'm really shocked how beautiful and clean and majestic everything is here.
I definitely agree. That's one thing I always said when I was traveling that I noticed is the families that have like the nicest baby strollers, the nicest clothes, kids with the coolest tech, iPad variations, Huawei, Xiaomi, whatever they have. The kids and the families that always have the nicest stuff, it used to always be the Americans, like the American families, but now when you travel, I don't know, I see like Chinese families having the nicest stuff. It's, again, not to be expected if you just follow the talking points that you hear in the mainstream media in the West. But the truth is, Chinese people, when you see them traveling all across the world, I haven't been to China in like 2 years, roughly. But when I see them traveling, I'm always impressed. I'm like, oh, you know, they always look happy. They look like they have the most cool things and the coolest clothes and stuff. And it's definitely vindicated after traveling here once more. Nelly sees it, I see it. There's no denying it. The Chinese got drip. All right, while we were walking on the street, we found this place right here. I don't know, it's like halfway into the ground, but it looks pretty tasty to me.
They look pretty nice. There's this place right here. That smells very, very good. But this place looks really tasty. I say we give it a go. There's some beef thing. We got some pork neck, some toast with some butter on it, buttered toast. I think we got chicken wings even coming out.
Everything here is very spicy, but it's so good.
Very tasty. The beef is very tasty. 10 out of 10. My favorite thing about walking through the streets here is there's just so many good tiny little restaurants like, oh, it's too hot for you. You're dying. Oh, the water's like steaming hot. Wow.
It doesn't help.
No, it doesn't help. It doesn't help the spice. They do hot water because it's healthy for you. In Asia, Asian countries do that. That's why I never understood. In America, like literally all the water's freezing cold, and I love it. I love it way more. But it's actually, they say it's healthier to have warm water. I think Nelly's dying.
That's crazy. That's really crazy.
It's too hot.
It's too hot. Everything here is hot. Everything. Even water.
It's like senior citizen events and get out in the park and come dance. I like their outfits. So we walked across a single park one single park, and there's like 2 different places where all these Chinese elderly people are dancing, they're active. Some of the ones that are a little bit too elderly are sitting and watching, but they're getting out, enjoying the sunlight. And I compare this, I think, immediately what comes to mind to the capitalist dreamscape of South Korea, where in South Korea, it's so sad, 10 elderly people are unaliving themselves each and every day in South Korea. That's the current stats. So you have China, you have communist China, where the elderly people are all happy, they're dancing, they're active, they're getting out, their families are celebrating with them. Life is good, they've got money to survive. And then South Korea, the capitalist dreamscape that America lauds as this beacon story of success, where 10 elderly people are unaliving themselves each and every day. The numbers speak for themselves. China is much more happier, it's a more beautiful place, and that's because of communism. There's no other way to split it. Look at this, we were just walking, and there's a giant like Porsche museum. I don't even know. China's literally got everything, you guys. I don't know what to tell you. This place is crazy. Literally whatever you could possibly hope to see on a trip, you will see in China. It's got absolutely everything. Look at how cool these are behind me. Insane. The Porsche Museum. So now we are walking the Bund, and if this architecture looks like it's from Europe, is because it is. This was the banking capital, the Wall Street of all of Asia during the 1930s. It was bigger than Tokyo, it was bigger than Hong Kong.
During World War II, they actually had like turret guns, something to that effect, on top of these buildings to protect the banks from the Japanese in World War II. It's pretty interesting.
Wow, look at that street. Probably not picking it up properly on the camera, but it looks amazing. What's incredible about this whole area is people oftentimes look at Shanghai or Shenzhen or Chengdu and they say, oh, you know, that's way too futuristic to be a communist state. But the truth of the matter, it is. All major industry, all major resources obviously owned by the state in China. Some people bring up Chinese stock market, for example, and actually if you break it down, about 67% of all companies listed on the various stock markets in China, like Shanghai, 67% are owned by the government. And when you look at gross profit of the major industries in China, the vast majority are controlled by the government, or they're subsidiaries of government-owned companies. The boards of all these companies are controlled by the government. All decision-making lies in the hands of the government. So there's this thin veneer of, I guess, maintaining the standards of the Western financial order. But the truth is the people decide what goes on in their financial markets and what goes on with their economy, not multinational corporations in the West or anything to that effect, which is why China's successful. All right, we are at the final destination of the day. We are at the view from the Bund in Shanghai, China. Nellie's had a wonderful day, I've had a wonderful day. And we're here, it's still daytime. You want to get here when it's nighttime. We're going to see that in a few minutes. But right now I wanted to say a few words because what's so interesting about this area behind me, this was like all major banking empires were stationed here, late 1800s, 1930s. You had British banks, you had American banks, you had basically every sort of architectural style that you could imagine, Gothic. You have Chicago School even here. You have really incredible, this is the HSBC building right there, you can kind of see behind me. At the time it was built, it took like 100 tons of silver to make the building. The big dome on top was imported from Europe, and it was the most expensive building in the world to build at that point in history. So at the time that these banks were all being developed and they were in use, if you flip to the other side here, which is Shanghai, as you can see the Pearl Tower behind us, all the big hotels and buildings. That was just a muddy marshland over there, farms and random stuff, like it was nothing. Think about that. In less than 100 years, they've developed all of that under communist rule in China. And before, this was the only The only sort of infrastructure here were these banks and hotels and whatnot that were on this side. Now you've got both sides. And it's like 100 years of history, old China versus new China, staring back and forth right at each other across from the river. So we're gonna show you this when it gets a little bit later and the lights come out, because it's gonna be absolutely beautiful. But this is what it looks like now. And then at nighttime, we're gonna come back to the same exact spot, and right now, it's gonna switch. What do you think? This is better, right?
Okay. I will agree. It's stunning. It's very, very beautiful. Yeah, actually I like this one even more. I like this aesthetics.
But this is really something. They say, what did communists ever build? And 100 years ago, that was all mud, marshland, and little tiny farms. And then it was reclaimed and built up. There you have it. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed our first China video. We got a lot more coming on this trip. I don't know if Nellie's gonna let me go to the communist place, because we're gonna go to that museum today, but then she said, no, let's go shopping instead. So I guess we went shopping and got a new coat. But maybe tomorrow, we'll see. Anyways, there you go. Shanghai, day one. Gotta love it.